got here? Well, man, you guys are good looking. Look at that. Oh, oh, hey, you over there in the back. Oh, that's right. Hey, Fred, how you doing over there? Man, even better looking with my glasses off. Dang, I don't know about me, but man, like a sheepdog. Hey, uh, we're almost done with our series on algebraic fractions, and this is our second to last video. It's the one that is the ugliest looking, the most intimidating to students, but it's really not that bad. See, look, we're going to be talking about complex fractions. Those are fractions within other fractions. Let's see, we get that up there. Yeah. So like, look, I mean, it says over here, you got 666, run, danger. We got a fraction inside of another fraction. We're going to walk you through that in this video right here. Unlock this for you. It's really not that bad. It's not too bad at all. You'll see. You'll see. So I'm going to switch to the document camera and let's get to it over here, shall we? All right. Boy, that noise in the background. Got a pug up here. He's playing with his toy. And he's a special boy. So anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to simplify this. Let me walk you through it. It's really not too bad. But, as always, if you want to learn how to do this, you want to be good at this, you got to participate. It's not a observation sport. It's a participation thing. So take notes. Use different colors of pens and pencils so you can annotate questions and write ideas and highlight them so you don't have to rediscover your learning in the future, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to simplify this thing over here, and here's how we're going to do it. This is kind of a guideline that give you a process that you can kind of, I don't know, structure your thinking and your approach so that it works out nice and neat and pretty. There's lots of ways to go about these, lots of different ways you can approach and do these, but this is the way that's probably the simplest 98% of the time. Uh, that's statistics made up, of course, but the vast majority of the time. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to get a common denominator. What I mean is we're going to get a common denominator here. We're going to simplify this thing. And at the same time, we're going to simplify this as if it's its own problem. And then we're going to rewrite it as multiplication. So it's going to be this, simplified, times the reciprocal of this. Then if we can reduce, we will reduce. And then we're going to go ahead and multiply, combine like terms, all that kind of stuff, right? So we're going to take this like it's its own problem right here. Like, so for example, let's say you had this and you needed to simplify it. You needed to write it as a single expression. Well, you know you got to get a common denominator, and you know that denominator is going to be 2x, right? So all you got to do is multiply this by 2x over 2x, and what you end up with is 5 minus 2x. You can't reduce this because this 5 doesn't have a common factor with the others. So here's what we got. We got 5 minus 2x over 2x. And that's going to be divided by this right here. All right, now that one, we're going to do the same exact way. We have 3 minus 2 over 5x. We got to get a common denominator. Our denominator here is going to be 5x, right? So we have to multiply this by 5x over 5x. We're going to get 15x minus 2. So this is 15x minus 2 over 5x. This is division. The numerator is here. The denominator is here. So what we really have is we have this divided by that. We don't need to write that out. I'm going to this time just so you see. I would never write this out if I was doing the work. This and what I'm going to write right here are exactly the same thing. Talked about that in one of the previous videos where we were talking about division. No need to write this. Instead, it's better to just go ahead and do this. Now, if there's any simplifying that we can do, we need to do that. Well, look, we have an x here, we have an x there. This and this can reduce. This 2x and that 2, they can't reduce. This has a 5, that has a 5, this has a 5. They can't reduce because all terms would have to have a common factor, and they don't. So we have this as reduced as we can. Now, you want to go ahead and distribute in the numerator. So look, here's what we got. We have 5 minus 2x, 5 minus 2x, and that whole thing is being multiplied by 5. Normally I wouldn't write this step either. So I would usually not write this, and the step I'm writing right here, I would usually not write. I would start here, get the common denominators, go to here, and then, yeah, do the last part. So in the denominator, though, we have 2 times 15x minus 2. Now the numerator, we do want to distribute, combine like terms, and do all of that kind of stuff, but in the denominator, there's really no need. So here's what we're going to do. That's going to be 25 minus 10x, right? Because you have to distribute all the way over 2 and 15x minus 2. That's it right there. Now, a lot of the time, you want to put that first. You know, it's descending order. Keep you out of trouble. And that's really it. That's all there is to it. These problems, you know, they do look overwhelming. They do look really, really ugly and confusing. But I think what you'll find is that if you just follow this process right here, you're not going to get into too much trouble. Not really, anyway. So I don't know. I think we should probably maybe do another question, right? We should probably just do one more, just to make sure. Let me pull up a good one for you here, right? All right. So here's what we're gonna have. Here's the other thing I want to talk about. It's a complex fraction. There's a fraction in the numerator, and there's a fraction that's there in the denominator, right? And so one of the issues here is recognizing what is the numerator and what is the denominator, right? So, for example, let's say we had right here 3 plus x over 5 minus 1 over x, and let's say over here we had, I don't know, let's just say we had 1 over 3x squared plus x. Let's do this, right? Ugly problem, right? But nice thing about this one is we already have a common denominator for the denominator, but for the numerator, we do not. So we have to do that, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this by x over x, this by 5 over 5, right? And what we're going to get 3x plus x squared minus 5 over 5x, right? So 3 plus x times x is going to be 3x plus x squared, and this is minus 5 over 5x. And then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal right here, 3x squared plus x over 1. Now, we have this trinomial and this binomial, but we can actually, look at this, we can reduce by x, right? X goes into x squared x times, so what we really have is we have 3x plus x squared minus 5 times 3x plus 1 over 5. Yeah? We could multiply that out. We could leave it just like that. It doesn't really matter. For the sake of time, we're going to leave it just like that. And we're going to do just one more example, one that's a little bit cleaner, shall we? So let's say we had 2x, and that's being divided into 3 minus 3 over 1 minus 3 over 4x. So let's say we had this right here. All right, so same process, right? You're going to get a common denominator for the numerator and for the denominator. You're going to simplify those as much as possible. Then you're going to rewrite this division, because this is division. You're going to rewrite this as multiplication by the reciprocal. Then you're going to reduce all that kind of stuff. Then you're going to multiply and combine like terms, right? So let's do it. If we look at this one right here, we need a denominator that's going to be 2x. So we're going to multiply this by 2x over 2x. And we're going to get 3 minus 6x over 2x. Right? That gives us 6x, because this is really 3 over 1, right? That's your numerator. Your denominator, need a denominator of 4x for it. What we're going to get is 4x minus 3 over 4x. Yeah? All right. We're going to go ahead and multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. So it's going to be this, 3 minus 6x over 2x times 4x over 4x minus 3. Any reducing that we can do, we'll do. This 2x goes into 4x 2 times. It goes into itself once. Let's see. I wish there was a common factor here, but there's not. So we're going to go ahead and distribute. We are going to multiply this by 2. So we're going to get 6 minus 12x, 4x minus 3. And then we're done. You know you're done if it's all the way simplified, if it's reduced. And it is reduced because there isn't a common factor between all 4 terms. It's tricky. It's tempting because these 3 numbers have a common factor. And these 3 have a common factor, but not all 4. So it's done. Hey, let me know how that goes. Let me know what you think about this. If it's difficult, if it's easy, leave me a comment down below. If you're in my class, you can just respond via email or on Google Classroom. Until next time, be safe. I hope you have a great day.